Under the cold aisle lights of a quiet grocery store, a moment was forming that would change two lives forever. Nobody walking past the shelves knew it. Nobody pushing their carts could feel it. But something huge was about to happen. Something that would test a man the world already judged. And save a little girl who had almost given up hope. A slow rumble of cart wheels moved through the aisles. The soft buzz of refrigerators mixed with faint mumbling from shoppers. And in the middle of it all walked a man everyone avoided. A big, rough biker with tattoos crawling across his arms and a heavy leather vest stamped with a skull and wings. His name was Landon Pierce. A man who had lived more mistakes than years. A man people crossed the street to avoid. A man many called dangerous. He wasn't there to scare anyone that day. He was only picking up food before heading out on another long, lonely ride. But destiny had decided to meet him right between the cereal boxes and the discount biscuits. As Landon turned into the aisle, his boots making dull thuds on the tiles, something made him stop. Not a sound, not a motion, something else, something he felt. At the far end of the aisle walked a tall man with a snake curling around his forearm. Ink that slithered from his wrist to his elbow. Next to him walked a little girl, no older than 6. Her tiny hand was locked inside his. Her small steps trembled. Her eyes, wide, dark, terrified, lifted the moment she saw Landon. And she didn't blink. Very slowly, she raised her free hand. Palm open, fingers spread. A silent plea. A signal. Landon froze. He had seen that hand sign once online. A hidden signal for danger. Call for help. For a second, doubt crept in. Maybe she's waving. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. But then he saw it. The bruises faintly on her wrist. The fear shaking her lower lip. And the man squeezing her hand tighter when he noticed Landon watching. A fire lit inside Landon's chest. Something he thought he had buried long ago. Something protective. Something human. He put the cereal box back on the shelf. Slowly. Quietly. Then he started walking toward them. The man with the snake tattoo stiffened. His eyes narrowed, tracking Landon's every step. Instantly, the girl clung tighter to him. But her eyes kept begging. Help me. Don't walk away. Landon forced a warm smile, trying to look casual. Hey there, little one, he said gently. The man yanked the girl closer. We're in a hurry, he muttered, his voice sharp. Landon's instincts screamed. He's lying. The girl shook her head. A tiny, quick shake, and lifted her hand higher. The silent signal. Her lighthouse in the dark. Landon had to think fast. He pointed behind the man. You dropped something. The man turned barely for half a second. That was enough. Landon knelt to the girl's level, lowered his voice, and whispered, You're safe now. I'm here. Her eyes flooded with relief. By the time the man turned back, Landon was on his feet again, phone in hand. He snapped a photo, click, right in the man's face. The man growled, What do you think you're doing, old man? Landon didn't flinch. His voice turned cold, steady, controlled. Not causing a scene, he said. Just letting you know the cops are already coming. He wasn't bluffing. His thumb had already hit the emergency SOS button before he even approached. The man's eyes darted left, then right. Panic punched him in the gut. He let go of the girl. Then he ran. Down the aisle. Past the freezers. Toward the exit. Landon tore off his leather jacket and wrapped it around the shaking girl. Her tiny fingers clutched it tight, gripping it like it was the safest place in the world. Stay with me, he whispered. She held on to him as they walked toward the front of the store. Shoppers stared, confused. Voices murmured. And then sirens. Loud, sharp, slicing the air. The girl's name, they later learned, was Mira. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She simply held Landon's hand while the police gathered around her, as if she knew he was the only reason she was still alive. Within minutes, officers had caught the man in the parking lot. He wasn't her father. He wasn't a family member. He had abducted her from a park 2 days earlier. And all that time, no one had found her, until a biker walked through the cereal aisle. As police talked to Mira, she kept looking back at Landon. Her small fingers reached for him every few minutes, making sure he didn't leave. Landon felt something in him shift, break open, revive. He had lived a life full of anger and regret. Fights, arrests, broken relationships. People had called him everything: criminal, troublemaker, lost cause. But now, this tiny girl looked at him like he was the only safe thing in the world. When Myra's real mother arrived, she collapsed the moment she saw her daughter, crying so hard that the officers had to support her. Mira ran into her arms, and they held each other like the world had stopped spinning just for them. Landon looked away. He didn't want anyone to see his eyes shine. Before leaving, Mira ran back to him one last time. She reached into the pocket of the jacket still wrapped around her and pulled out a tiny plastic charm. A little toy angel. She pressed it into his hand. "You're my biker angel," she whispered. Landon's throat tightened. He had no words, only a small nod. He watched her walk away, safe in her mother's arms. Then he stepped outside. The sunlight hit his face. His boots echoed on the pavement. And for the first time in years he felt peace. Not fame, not praise, just peace. The news spread quickly. A biker saved a missing girl using a silent rescue signal. People in town saw him differently. Some even stopped him to thank him. But Landon didn't care about the attention. He cared about what he felt inside. Something he thought he had lost forever. Redemption. He rode his motorcycle for hours that night. No destination. Just the open road and the soft chime of something new. A small angel charm hanging from his keychain. He touched it gently whenever he passed the grocery store. A silent promise formed in his heart. I'll never ignore another hand asking for help. And deep down, he knew one truth with absolute certainty. That day didn't just save Mira. Saved him, too. If this story touched your heart, if you believe even rough souls can carry the brightest light, then make sure to like, comment, and share. Let's spread the message and teach others about the silent signal that can save a life. And before you go, tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you saw that little girl raise her hand?